the hell? Look at the lag. Holy crap. Whoa, this is really slowing me down. I'm blinded. Anything worse would be the beating a K-less. What the crap? Oh god. Where's the enemy? What a nightmare. Hey guys, it's Matt here from SRS. I'm going to show you how to use the Vertigo visual effects removal tool that we've created at SRS. First of all, go to the SRS website and go to the Vertigo page, which you'll find under the tutorials menu here. Once you've got the page up, you'll see this. Now there's two ways to use this sheet. One is you can use it live in the website. The downside of this is that other people can use it at the same time, and that means you can have conflicts. So if you are going to use it live in the website, click this checkbox here, and that will just say a little message here, say in use please wait, so other people know that it's being used. So what this actually does is remove some of the annoying visual effects you can find within the game, whether that's in space or on the ground, and it does it by using a keybind. So let's go through how we would set up the effects that we want to remove, and then I'll show you in the game how you actually activate this. So first of all, we need to put into the player response. This is what the keybind will tell you once it's been activated in the game. So I'm going to do a ground one, a ground keybind. So I'm going to change the name to ground VFX. Now if you look here in this window, this is where the keybind is actually built, and you can see that it says F5 player say ground VFX activated. So that's just the code that the keybind uses to tell the game to tell you when it's activated. I also don't want to use the F5 key, I want to use the F9 key. So I'll just click in there and type F9. So F9 is the function keys on the top of your keyboard. That's above the normal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got F number in front of it, just in case anyone's not quite sure what they are. They're not usually used in the game. They may be bound, but only if you bound them yourself. They're not default binds. So any of those F keys is probably okay to use. Right. Now, if we just go down a little bit, we can see a whole list of effects that I want to get rid of. In green, you can see the ground, and blue is space. So I'm only interested in getting rid of the annoying ground effects for this keybind. So I'm going to click on Agony Field Generator, Anti-Time Ground, Ball Lightning, Chaos Blaze, Concussive Tachyon Emission, the dreaded Disco Party Ball, Lava Floor, the horrific Parvin Crystal Prism. It's not the crystal itself that's the problem, it's the noise that the tether makes. So you'll still see the crystals on this, but you won't see the tether and you won't hear the horrible noise. Smoke Grenade. It's not too bad, but may as well get rid of it. Symphony of Lightning, Character Glow, and the Drone. The two horrific things that they added recently. And the horrible Visual Damping Field. But it says here now that the number of effects I've activated is 12. It's just too many effects. In actual fact, it probably will work with 12. Certainly by 15 you're really pushing your luck. I've made it flag up more than 10 as being a problem, but I'm going to stick with those 12, and I think that's going to be fine. If it doesn't work, we'll know, because when I hit F9 it won't tell me that the ground VFX is activated. So now I've got my keybind built up here. All I've got to do is click once on there to select it, and then Control C to copy that to my clipboard, and then I'm going to bring up Notepad, just normal Notepad, and I will paste in there. There's the keybind. If you've got any extra space, just delete that. I don't think it makes any difference, but just to be sure, get rid of any extra space, and then save that, and it will go into your Star Trek Online live folder. That's usually in the drive letter name. The folder, which is Star Trek Online _EN for English, Star Trek Online and live. So let's just show you that path. For you it might be a different drive letter, or it may be under the Steam Apps folder or the ARC folder. But as soon as you find the Star Trek Online _EN folder, that's where you go from there. Star Trek Online again, live, and that's where you save it. And I'm going to call it ground VFX. So just type your name in here and save. The next thing to do is load the game. Right, so now I have the game loaded. I go to my chat box. It doesn't matter which chat box you're actually in. Just type /bind load file, and then the name of the file that you had, ground vfx.txt, and then press F9, and we can see that ground VFX is activated. That's what my character said. If you press it again, look, see ground VFX activated. So now when I have some of those rather annoying effects, we won't see them happen. So let's just check that. We'll go to the bridge, and let's run one of those that I got rid of was the visual dampening field. And all it does now is it actually cloaks your character. You don't see the huge white blinding effect that you would normally tend to see. And that's it. The next time I start the game with this character, all I have to do is press F9 and it will load that keybind. Now if I go to a different character, let's go to one that I haven't loaded this on yet. So let's find one that I don't use. Isn't not that one, it's probably too. Yeah, here's a level 3 character that I've just started. Okay, so now I've loaded this level 3 character. I press F9, doesn't do anything because it's not been loaded in on this character. So just click in your chat box, press the up arrow, will bring back the previous command that you put in, press enter, and now press F9 and you say ground VFX activated. So that's all you've got to do on each character. Now let's look at a space VFX. So we'll go back to Vertigo. We'll clear these ground ones. Okay, that's all the ground ones gone. So I've got nothing activated at the moment. So what is it I want to get rid of in space? Well, these don't bother me very much. Beacon of Kalos, of course. Horrific complete white screen, which is causes a lot of people some headaches and pains. I don't like the jellyfish effect. I'm going to get rid of that. Delphic tear, it's not too bad. Can live with it. I don't like hazard emitters. No, not hazard emitters. Brace for impact. Where is it? I missed one. Brace for impact. There it is. Let's see. Chemocyte, yeah, definitely get rid of that. This is the fizzing and sparkling from Chemocyte on your ship, which on big ships is not really much of a problem, but on a very small ship like a Jem'Hadar attack ship, the effect is so large you can't even see your ship, which is a nightmare. Let's get rid of neutronic eddies because that's just way too much. The absolutely ludicrous plasma storm, which you can see on this image here, just terrible. Terrible. I'm going to flick tac team on as well, so I've got plenty of space left actually. Temporal anchor, I don't like that, and I don't like the temporal vortex probe. Get rid of those two as well. Let's see. Photonic officer's a pain when he keeps asking me to state the nature of the emergency. Okay, I've got 10 now. I think I'm going to call it quits at 10. So I now select this window again. Oh, first of all, I need to change the name of the bind. So I'm going to put space VFX. And I need to change the key, so I'm going to use F8 for this one. Okay, now select the keybind, just click once in there, Control C, then we'll go over to Notepad, let's clear this keybind which we did earlier, paste the new one in, and you can see things like beacon of KLS, Chemocyte, neutronic eddies, and so on. Again, we'll clear out any unwanted space. Not sure where that comes from, to be honest. There we go, that's got rid of it. And I'm going to save this one as space VFX. That's saved. Now we'll go back to the game, and I'll do it on a different character because this character doesn't have anything on it. So. Right. So I'm now going to bring that keybind in. So bind, load file, space VFX dot txt. Don't forget the dot txt at the end. And that was on F8. So press F8 and it says there space VFX activated. So now if I activate the neutronic eddies, you get the initial blast and a bit of fizziness around your ship. You don't see the huge, horrific tornadoes of lag. And if I hit temporal vortex probe on that ship there, you see it leave your ship, but then you don't see it doing anything. Now you can see it doing some damage. Some damage counters are ticking. You don't have the horrific effect there. Brace for impact, makes your ship glow, you don't get the square boxes coming over. I think, did I do Delphic Tear? No, Delphic Tear, maybe that's one I will add because it's quite bad really, isn't it? That's a lot of spam on your screen there. I don't have the Plasma Storm, I never got it, even though I know it's very good for an EPG ship like this one. But I could not live with the horrible effects, so I never got it. Now, perhaps I will. So that is how to use the keybind. And what we'll do now is we'll go back to the Vertigo sheet and show you the recommended way of using it. I'm going to untick that so other people know it's not being used, because that's okay if not many people are on it, but since I launched this I've had on average sort of 8 people online at any one time trying to use it at the same time. So the best way of doing it is to get a copy of the sheet. So just click this. Well, by the way, the instructions are here as well, which will explain things more or less what I've just been telling you. Get a copy of the sheet, hit that, and it will load up the SRS Vertigo sheet. You won't be able to change this one, but what you can do is go into File, make a copy, give it whatever name you want. My Vertigo, and it will then load up a copy which you can bookmark, drop it onto your favorites bar or whatever. Now this is your copy, and you don't need to checkbox this anymore because there's only ever going to be you using it. The downside of doing it this way is that if the master sheet is updated with new effects, and these effects have been added in the last 2 or 3 days, new effects are being found all the time and put onto here, although we do have most of the really big offenders. So the downside is that your sheet will go out of date. But don't worry about that, because all you've got to do is just get another copy and make a new copy from the current sheet, and it'll be up to date again. And you can tell by the date number, the version number here, this is 1.3. So if you're using sheet 1.3 and you go to the Vertigo website and see that it's sheet 1.5, you'll know that it's been updated. So every time new stuff is added on here, this will go up by 0.1. So you'll know that something's been added. There are no bugs in it as far as I can tell. Everything seems to work. It's worked for everybody. So if you do find some bugs, or if you've, let me know. You can do that through our email address, which is on the website, which is matt@srs-fleet.net, or you can send me a message in the game, or to our Discord or our Facebook page. There's lots of ways of getting in touch. Also on the Reddit, there's a big thread about this on the Reddit. You can look that up on the Reddit, and you can comment on there. Also, if you have some requests, some things that really annoy you and you'd like to get rid of them, send me that request as well, and I'll see if we can track it down. There are some things that are quite difficult. So for example, the tier 6 flourish, where you press the button and you get all the reputation flourishes around you. That's actually 13 separate effects, can you believe? And there doesn't appear to be, and I've spent hours going through the list of effects, there doesn't seem to be a global effect that will kill it all. So in order to get rid of that flourish, which by the way, if you're going to look for yourself, it's under flaunting, you'd need to do a keybind with 13 effects, like just for that one. So that's one thing that I can't put in. Engine trails, impulse engine trails, another thing that can't really be done, because first of all, although I found the generic trails, I don't have a ship with generic trails, and that's part of the problem. It seems to be the case that they make new impulse trails for almost every ship that comes out. Certainly the lockbox ships, they've all got their own impulse trails. You can there's like over, I think it's over 2,000 entries for impulse trails. So that can't be done, but there is a mod on the Nexus mod manager for removing generic impulse trails, and it doesn't actually remove them. What it does is it adds in some new texture WTex files, which will overwrite the ones in the game. It's very easy to uninstall that as well to put the game back to how it was. So if you do want to get rid of a lot of impulse trails, look up the Nexus mod manager for Star Trek Online, and you'll be able to locate that mod quite easily. So that's it, that's Vertigo. I hope you'll find it useful and make the game a lot more enjoyable for you in the future. Thanks for watching. This is Matt Johnson from SRS. Come and join us if you're looking for an active fleet. We've done well over 1,200 events this year so far. Events, TFOs and patrols and mission replays and competitions and all that kind of stuff. So we're always looking for people to swell our ranks. We've got 14 fleets to fill up, many are tier 5, including the KDF. So come and join us if you're looking for a new home, and we'll see you out there.